First here tonight at 5, we begin with breaking news. A man is dead tonight after being shot, according to police, and then crashing his car. You see the video just into our newsroom from near the scene from our photojournalists on the scene. This happened just before 3 o'clock this afternoon near West Kentucky Street and Salem Avenue. That's in West Louisville in the California neighborhood. LMPD says a man hit a tree with his car, and when they got to the accident, they discovered he'd been shot several times. EMS took that man to the hospital where he later died. Again, as you can see, investigators are still on the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened. Also tonight, suspended Clarksville, Indiana police officer and current Clark County Councilor John Miller in court today, arguing his case connected to the Jamie Knoll case, is arguing that it should be now dismissed.
Miller is accused of approving contracts for Knoll's fire and EMS companies and then receiving gifts from Knoll. Miller was arrested on August 23rd on one count of conflicts of interest. Miller started his term on the Clark County Council in 2021. His term will end at the end of this year as he lost his primary. Now, Focus reporter Travis Breeze has more on what Miller's accused of receiving and what his defense is.
Connie, Miller's attorneys say even if he did receive gifts from Jamie Knoll, he had no idea how they were paid for, and it was not a direct result of him voting on a contract. Court documents from state prosecutors say Knoll bought John Miller 2 international trips, concert tickets, and several meals, all paid for using New Chapel EMS funds. These purchases happened between 2018 and 2023. Miller approved funding for New Chapel EMS 6 times since 2021. Today, Miller's attorney argued this case should be dismissed because these gifts were not contingent on the contracts being signed, and he had no idea where the money was coming from.
I mean, it's just fantasy that any evidence is going to come to light that says, oh, Jamie Knoll handpicked him so that Knoll would strike that, so that Miller would forget about his responsibilities, fiduciary responsibilities.
Judge Larry Medlock pressed Bart Bateau in court and said a jury could believe that these gifts constitute income even if they weren't tied to a contract.
Is it not unreasonable for your client to believe that he is receiving a benefit from the fellow who's in charge of the organization?
Medlock gave Bateau a few more days to file additional briefs. Medlock will rule on this motion to dismiss in the next couple of days or so. Now, Miller's attorneys also argued for a change of venue today. They said they specifically want the case to be moved to either Allen or Monroe counties in Indiana. Medlock will also take a few days before he rules on that. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Travis, as you know, of course, you'll be there covering it all. What could be the final word in the Jamie Knoll criminal case is coming up on Monday. Knoll will be back in the courtroom for his possible sentencing in front of Judge Larry Medlock. Back in August, Jamie Knoll pleaded guilty to 27 of the 31 felony charges he's facing. The plea agreement included a 15-year total sentence, 12 to be served in prison, and 3 years probation. That's how it breaks down. Judge Larry Medlock says he will not accept that plea deal until he hears from the victims of Knoll's alleged crimes. Right now, 19 people are currently signed up to give impact statements starting on Monday. After that, they speak, then it's going to be up to the judge on whether or not to accept Knoll's plea or throw it out. Now, you'll want to stick here with us around for our 5:30 news. Travis Breeze is going to be back with us here at 5:30 as Connie and I will be questioning about the case. We'll learn a lot more insight as to what could happen on Monday. Connie?
It was an emotional day today as Amy Jones took the stand in the Michael Hurley trial, recounting the moments leading up to the crash in July of 2022 and what she can remember in the days and weeks that followed. And Hurley is accused of driving into a family from Kansas as they were walking around downtown Louisville.
That's right. They were preparing to attend a basketball tournament here in Louisville. Our Jose Alonso and photojournalist Jessica Farley have been covering this case. They're reporting live now with their continued coverage. And Jose, is this going to continue through the night now, or are they going to pick back up tomorrow on Monday? Excuse me.
Yeah, Doug, they actually did conclude right now. They ended at 3:30, but this is going to go over through the weekend into Monday. But today we heard from 2 mothers who were impacted by this case. As you just saw, Amy Jones was brought to tears when having to relive that painful recovery journey she's been having to endure with her family. And the jury also had the opportunity to hear from Michael Hurley's mother as she tried to defend him in court.
They cut my calf off. And Did you suffer a stroke?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was actually during the first time I was at U of L. I had the stroke.
It's the first time we've heard from Amy Jones, the woman who lost her husband and suffered catastrophic injuries, along with her daughter, when they were hit by a driver suspected to be under the influence. She showed the jury her injuries she lived with since July 2022.
Is there a loss of muscle with the shoulder that's forever gone?
Yes.
And is that deformity going to be with you for the rest of your life?
Yes.
It's in this video where you see Hurley's Ford Taurus heading towards the Jones family, standing on the intersection of 2nd and Market Street. Amy says they were on their way to dinner.
I don't really remember much after we left the hotel for the last time.
Hurley avoided eye contact as Amy spoke. The jury saw photos taken by LMPD, one showing hair on the shattered windshield of Hurley's car, along with a dented rim. Defense attorneys focused on how Hurley reacted immediately after the crash.
And we know that Mr. Hurley wasn't treated, but do you know whether he had hit his head on that? No. Okay. So we don't have the information on what's going on for those 20 seconds while he's in that car.
Through tears, Amy spoke about how those few seconds altered her daughter's life forever, with a traumatic brain injury that ended her basketball career.
Is she the same neighbor?
No.
She's not the same neighbor?
In the last hour, we heard from Hurley's mom, defiant about knowing of any addiction while admitting she kept her prescriptions in a safe.
You were controlling drugs so that he could not have them.
Excuse me, I wasn't controlling anything.
Amy Jones did say that she had to endure 22 broken bones after being hit by that vehicle, and she underwent 18 surgeries as well. This trial will continue Monday morning at 10 a.m. Reporting live in Louisville, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
Jose, thank you. Jurors in the upcoming federal trial against former LMPD officer Brett Hankison will not hear about his past actions. Hankison is accused of violating the rights of Breonna Taylor, her boyfriend, and her neighbors when he fired into her apartment from the outside on March 13, 2020. His first federal trial ended in a mistrial. Prosecutors wanted to point to two past incidents they called, quote, aggressive. In a ruling filed yesterday, Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings said they didn't provide enough evidence the incidents happened, but acknowledged she could change her mind if more information is provided. During a hearing today, both sides reviewed questionnaires received from potential jurors and voiced any objections. Some potential jurors were excluded while others will be brought in for more questioning. Hankison's trial is scheduled to start next Tuesday, October 15th.
Perfect weather continuing across Kentucky and right into the weekend as we are in for a warm-up, folks. I tell you, I can't remember the last time, Connie, I spotted a cloud in these skies.
I know. I thought you were going to say we've had this much good weather because it's been a while, really.
Oh, well, I tell you, if the mayor wants more people to come to Louisville, bottle this day and send
right.
it out.
Chamber
Right,
of Commerce weather, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember a pattern where we've had a cloud-free sky this long, and here you go, not a cloud in the sky once again. 76 and 78, our current temperature, just a very light breeze out there. The humidity very low at 33%, and our live view from on top of the Galt House here, looking at almost looks like glass here on the Ohio River with almost no breeze out there with our Bachman Auto Group cam put over our U of L Health Camera Network. Pretty much all mid to upper 70s throughout the viewing area. High pressure blocking back any storm chances. It's off to the southeast now, so we get this return flow from the southwest. That'll get our temperatures about 10 degrees above normal for this weekend. That means some 80s on the way. But for much of the evening, we're in the 60s, overnight lows in the 50s, so not quite as cool as our last few nights and early mornings, and low 80s and more sunshine for tomorrow. For our HS Game Time Game of the Week manual at St. X, 7 p.m., lower 70s for kickoff, halftime upper 60s, and towards the end of the game in the mid 60s. Maybe with that light jacket or sweatshirt out there. Overnight low at 55 degrees, noon tomorrow 73, and great again, but just a little bit warmer at 82 degrees. We've got a significant temperature drop though into next week. We'll show you coming up in our Weather Impact Team 7-day forecast.
All right, Ben, thank you so much. A woman was arrested in Kentucky after officers found a dismembered body in her yard. And as it turns out, it was her mother. And we want to warn you, these details are disturbing. It happened on October 9th in Mount Olivet, Kentucky. That's a small town northeast of Lexington. According to arrest citations, 2 men went to a house they were hired to work on by the owner, Trudy Fields. When they got there, they reported to police that they found the dismembered body of Trudy Fields in the backyard, and they believed her daughter, Toralina Fields, had something to do with it. When Kentucky State Troopers got there, they found the body, a bloody mattress, and drag marks leading from the home. One of the men hired to work on the house said the daughter was casting spells on them the night before. When troopers found the daughter, she was covered in blood. Toralina Fields is charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence.
Here tonight at home, a developing story that's all new tonight. New safety protocols are going into effect for every Jefferson County Public School high school football game. And this comes after the shooting at a PRP and Male high school game on a Sunday night about 2 weeks ago. We just received notice from the Jefferson County coroner that teenager who was killed in that shooting in the parking lot outside that PRP football game is identified as 17-year-old Aaron Esters Jr. Now, some schools had already started making these changes this week, but a new letter sent to all principals is making it now mandatory. Now all fans will be checked with metal detector wands before entering the games. Plus, every person, students and adults, will have to have an ID. No backpacks or large bags will be allowed, and you won't be able to leave and get back into the game. And finally, middle school students must be with an adult. On top of this, the gates will close at the third quarter. The WHAS11 night team is covering some of these games tonight. We're going to show you what it looks like and how people are reacting to the big change tonight at 11.